Hi, Alexis. Welcome to the Woodward Pet Spotlight in Quarantine. Thank you so much for joining us. We're happy to have you here. And this is Stella, right?
Yes, this is Stella.
She's so cute. Okay. So, why don't we get started then? So, who is Stella?
She is an emotional support animal that I have on campus. I actually adopted her back in October, and she is the most amazing dog that I could have ever met. She's lovable, she loves cuddles, and she loves going for walks and meeting new people, and she's just the ultimate best friend.
That's so wonderful. I love that. And so you said you adopted her in October.
Yes.
And do you want to share where you adopted her from?
Yeah, I adopted her from a local animal shelter called Father John's Animal House. And she actually came up from Mississippi with her 2 puppies.
Oh, wow.
And she, I think, had a total of 8, but she only came up with 2. Don't know what happened to the other 6. And my mom actually fell in love with her daughter and adopted her daughter also.
Oh, that's so sweet. I'm glad they got to stick together.
Yeah.
And that animal shelter is St. John's?
Father John's.
Father John's, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
And is that in your hometown?
Yeah, it is.
Cool. So now, you mentioned that she's an emotional support animal. So a part of this series is highlighting emotional support animals in general and, how they help students on campus and the ways and how beneficial they are. So if you don't mind sharing, why do you have Stella, how does she help you every day?
Mm-hmm. I have really bad stress and anxiety when it comes to things, and just having her by me alleviates that stress. And a lot of times to get out and away from the schoolwork, I take her for a nice long walk or just have a nice cuddle or play with a ball in the apartment. And it's just amazing having her just for that comfort.
It's wonderful. Wonderful. Now, do you live on campus or are you located on campus?
I did. I lived in the Woodlands last year, and this year I think I'm going to be living in Regina.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Yeah.
I know you said you got her in October, so obviously you were kind of into the school year before you got her. How was it adjusting for her from, what her life was like beforehand to now living in dorm life as an ESA?
It was actually pretty easy. I have 4 other dogs at home, so that was a challenge, getting her to play along and get along with all of them. But at school, it was perfect because I live with my sister in the apartment because she goes to Marywood also. And it was just amazing companionship for both of us just to have her in the room.
Nice, that's wonderful. And now, does Stella get to interact with people on campus often? I know you mentioned you take her for walks and she loves meeting new people, but when you're on campus, does anybody really interact with her? Does she just kind of keep to herself in your apartment?
If I do take her for a walk, like I said, she will interact with people. She gets very excited and she loves the squirrels on campus. And, but if I'm at class, she's usually just in her crate. So just keep that good so she's not getting into anything. But yeah, I try to have her interact with people so that she's not scared of anyone.
Right. Absolutely, that's fair. And how has she, you talked about before, taking her for walks and cuddling with her, playing with her in your apartment really helps with stress, with schoolwork and everything else going on in our hectic lives. How else has she made your life better? What are the differences from the way you were now to having Stella in your life?
Before, it was very difficult because it was just, as I went through my college career, it was just getting harder and harder, which I know was expected, but she made it a lot better just with the stress, and it's just a lot more fun having her around. She follows me everywhere around the house during this quarantine. It's everywhere I go, she follows, and if I'm not in the room, she'll just start crying. So we formed a very nice bond, and I just couldn't imagine my life without her.
That's so sweet. I might cry. I'm sorry. That's so sweet.
It's okay.
Oh my goodness. So speaking of quarantine, how have you and how has she been? You know, this was a huge change. No one really saw it coming. So like, how has she been getting along with this very like change in atmosphere, change in, you know, the way she lives?
It's been difficult because, like I said, with her and the other puppy, on top of that, we have 4 other dogs. So now we have 6 in the house, and it's been hard because since she had a litter of puppies, it is very protective of her body and her puppy. So she kind of snarls at the other dogs at times, but it's been good. It's been a learning experience for both of us, and I just got to let her do her thing and sort things out with the other dogs. And with the stress of the quarantine, it's been good for me because, like I said, she's a companion. So
that's wonderful. So nice. And I'm glad that she's seeming to like get along very well. I do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now, a little bit more about her. What are some of her likes and dislikes?
She loves to cuddle. The one thing that I love every morning is I just say a simple good morning, and she'll just wag her tail. Her tail's not super long; it's a little nub. So she'll just like wagging, you just hear her thump against the bed, and it's just so cute. And then in the morning when she comes down, she has to check every single food bowl to make sure it's empty, because if not, she will finish all the food in it. So I call her my little Gabon. And she loves to cuddle, she loves to go on walks. I try to take her on some hikes. But yeah, she doesn't really have too many dislikes. She pretty much loves everything I give her, and she just loves to play.
So nice. I forgot to ask, what kind of a dog is she?
They said she was a spaniel mix, but I was looking up her colors and her breed, and I tend to think she's a coonhound pointer mix.
Nice. Have you had experience with those dogs before, or not really?
I haven't. The only dog I had before this was a little Shih Tzu, and she's 16, so.
Oh my God, your dogs.
Yeah.
So now, this is the last question, and probably the most important question out of all of these. Is she a good girl?
She's an amazing dog. She's amazing. She, like I said, I can't imagine my life without her. She just makes the dark days brighter and the sun shines brighter, and she's just an amazing dog.
That's so wonderful. Oh, it was lovely to interview you and her, and you know, get to know what her life is like and what your life is like. And again, I want to thank you for joining us. We were happy to see her, happy to meet her, and I hope you and your family are safe and well throughout.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you, guys, and thanks for sorry. Thank you for tuning in, everyone, and just remember, wash your hands and stay safe. Bye, everyone.
Bye.